5:22 a.m.
So no one cares that you woke up early at 5:22 a.m.
But I didn't wake up early. I'm still
Your
up.
own problem.
Hey guys, it's Sebastian from AskSebby, and today we're going to look at 5 reasons why you might want to apply for an American Express card right now. Don't worry, I will be arguing the opposite of this and why you might want to hold off in a few days, so just a heads up. Big favor as always though is to give this a thumbs up, and if you like stuff like this, consider subscribing. So the first reason, and this is one of the biggest ones to me, is that we're seeing intro bonuses that are pretty absurd. I've been in the credit card game for a while. I look at all of these new offers, and these ones are blowing the pants off the old ones. We're seeing this across the board with a lot of their core cards that are offered directly from American Express. So the green, the gold, the platinum, and even some of their co-branded ones. I would slow your roll on the co-branded cards because I see those going a little bit higher, but that's a story for a different video. A lot of these offers, such as the 100,000 points platinum offer, in the past at least were targeted towards new customers who were not customers of American Express. So you kind of think of it like them going after someone who they wanted to convert and they were dangling this carrot. Right now though, they are targeting people who are current customers, so it kind of changes that equation. If you are looking for the gold or the platinum card, I would strongly recommend checking Card Match to see if you have an increased offer. It feels like people are getting targeted for these offers every few days, so definitely worth checking. I'll leave a Card Match referral link down below if you want to support the channel. I think the valuation, so the points being worth less, is a very genuine concern, but I think it has more to do with the co-branded cards, the ones related to Hilton, Delta, and specific partners. I'll touch more on this in the future video, arguing the other side, but I think you're not too at risk here just because they have so many transfer partners and they bought all of these points on sale. So even if Virgin Atlantic goes out of business, you still have so many other partners you can transfer your points to that you're not really at risk. Moving into the second reason of why you should apply for an American Express card right now is that this seems very numbers driven. So for anyone who's worked in corporate, you know that different divisions, different teams have specific KPIs. For anyone who hasn't, these are going to be key performance indicators, so you can think of it as the gauge of their success or their failure. So if you flip the scene, on the other side of the table on American Express's end, the person who works there is trying to make sure they have competitive numbers for 2020. That way they can get a bonus, that way they can get promoted, and ideally not fired. For that 2020 grade, they don't really have much time left, and once 2021 rolls around, they're going to take their foot off the pedal. The rationale being that they have so much more time for their 2021 numbers that they don't really need to worry about it. Even outside of the specific team-based stuff, if you look at the company as a whole and most corporations, they generally don't want to pay taxes. One of the easiest ways to do this is to have more expenses that ideally are linked to future income. So by spending all of this on marketing right now, they're increasing their future income and also decreasing their current taxes. So if you consider both of these and the fact that 2020 has been a mess for most people and most businesses, then a lot of these companies are doing big pushes. The third reason why you should apply for American Express cards right now is that we're seeing some partner benefits that are unheard of. A really good example of this is the Bonvoy Brilliant card, which is giving you platinum status. Obviously, you need to factor in how much you're traveling in the next year or two, but for a lot of people, this is something that's not attainable. So normally to get this, you either need to travel a lot, which is not most people, or you need to spend $75,000 on this card. I think if you're someone who mostly goes to cities, then this is not that big of a deal. But if you're someone who likes to go to resorts, or you have a player too that does, then this makes a big difference. Platinum is that sweet spot level that helps you with upgrades to suites and also free breakfast. I know you're thinking free breakfast, why is that even a big deal? Can't I just go out to eat? If you are at some of these resorts, you don't really have a means of going anywhere else. So if I'm at the St. Regis in the Maldives or in Bora Bora, you're stuck on that island and you can't really go anywhere else for breakfast. I think St. Regis Maldives is about $88 per person per day for breakfast. And that's before factoring in the upgrades you're getting and how much you would have otherwise had to pay for that. Even at the W Maldives, we got a pretty crazy upgrade for one of the nights just because we have platinum status. Do you need this big of a room? Probably not, but I think it's just cool that you're getting status that other people would have to spend a lot of money to get, or to travel a lot to get, or actually just pay for that upgrade. I'll happily be the guy who got upgraded to the crazy suite who people think is rich just because I have status for my credit card. On a side note, the Bonvoy Brilliant Platinum offer ends on January 13th, 2021, so if you are someone who's interested in that, I would apply sooner rather than later. Outside of the obvious Platinum offer, I think this is one of the best ones out there. On that note, if you are looking to learn about cards, whether it's American Express or some other issuer, very easy way to support the channel would be links on our site, AskSebby.com, or down below in the description box. Make sure those links are competitive, but using them really supports the channel. Number 4 is that American Express still has some of the best benefits out there, especially given what's going on. If for someone still traveling, I would argue that lounge coverage is still the strongest with the Centurion lounges and also the Delta Sky Clubs. I know there's a lot of other lounges that haven't been open, so I think this is a nice little perk. Outside of the travel stuff, they do have a bunch of benefits that I really like. My favorite one is going to be return protection, especially if you're someone who buys something and realizes that the return policy is a bit different than a lot of the other major brands. So for me, when I buy something, I always assume that I have 30 days to return it, and some brands are only 14 days. Best Buy is a very good example of this. So let's say I bought a $300 tripod and I realized that there's a better deal somewhere else. I could do return protection and either American Express takes it back or they just let you keep it. To me, it's a huge benefit sending an item back to American Express instead of having to try to sell it on eBay. There are a lot of rules here. It's only up to $1,000 per year and $300 per item. If you're someone into electronics though, this works out really well. Kind of a tangent, but it looks like they've been working with a lot of startups and tech companies to offer 1-year trials for their products. I know there's a ton of people out there who are like, this doesn't benefit me at all. Why don't they just give me $20 instead of giving me this $20 credit to something I don't care about? The thing is, they might not be paying for it. So American Express might not be paying for this benefit at all. It might be the company paying American Express to reach their customer base, basically like an advertiser. Let me see if I can grab one of these. This is a different magazine, but American Express has something similar called Departures. Some people get angry with this. They're like, why am I getting offered this as a benefit? And it's because it's not really a benefit for you. It's a benefit for American Express. So within most of these, there's a lot of ads. It's pretty much luxury brands and experiences. On American Express's side, their pitch to advertisers for their magazine is that the user base is very high income. Departures magazine subscription is only available to holders of American Express Platinum cards and Centurion cards. Average household income is $741,000. So if a big number like that, how much would you as a brand pay for exposure to this group? Main takeaway is that there's a lot of these alternative benefits that are useful for some people that you're getting a 1-year trial for. Calm has been a pretty good example of this, especially in 2020. Number 5 is that American Express has very good retention offers. So this is either a pro or a con depending on how you look at it. On the pro side, retention offers feel pretty good, especially when you get them. On a side note, Mandy did do a pretty thorough video talking about retention offers and pretty much everything else you would want to know. She even walks through her retention experience, so I'd recommend checking that video out after this one. The main disadvantage of retention offers is that you're leaving money on the table. It's kind of like if you go to a lot of car dealerships for non-Teslas, they expect that you negotiate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how much they're paying, this is what they want to charge, and this is the room for negotiation. So if you're someone who's not comfortable with calling retentions, then you're kind of leaving money on the table. One other interesting thing is that other banks don't really have strong retention offers. So does that mean that they're already kind of at the margin for you, or whether they just don't have as much room for profit? I wouldn't be surprised though if you look at something like Chase Sapphire Reserve, the $300 credit, that's being paid by Chase. But if you look at American Express's credits, I wonder how much is being paid by Uber or how much is being paid by Saks. Outside of this, they also send appreciation gifts. I'm guessing this is mostly marketing, like we just talked about a few minutes ago, but I think it's still a nice gesture. So I got one last year and the year before. I technically was going to include it in today's video, but I don't know where I put it. When I do find it, I'll probably put it on Instagram, so make sure to follow us over there at AskSebby. My question for you guys is, which American Express cards did you go for and which ones are on your list? Let me know and everyone else know down below in the comments. If you like to give it a thumbs up, it really helps us out. If you know anyone else who'd benefit, share this with them, will probably help them out. But otherwise, hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.